Ladies and gentlemen, Kim here. Welcome to the daily update. Hope you guys are having a good day trading today. I am recording this intraday. As I record this video, market should be open for another 2 hours. So I'm recording this kind of a late midday here on Tuesday, October 27th. Intraday, right? Market is currently up as I record this video about 0.5% or so. We do see the NASDAQ is up though about 0.7%. I saw that banks were down about 1% on the Russell and the Dow. They're down a little bit, but we only have like S&P pretty much flat, NASDAQ up about 0.7% there today. So let's try to figure out what we can expect possibly going into the remainder of this week. This week will be the last week for the month of October. So, and the election coming up after that, right, in November. So it will be interesting next couple of weeks here. So it looks like so market opened up here, right? Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's gonna be, yes, this is gonna be so this is a fifth candle, right? So this is where we looks like we gapped up slightly, right? This is where it closed yesterday. We gapped up slightly here and then made a little bit of move, came down, got back up here. We held at kind of the micro term support right here, right? Looks like it was that prior resistance acting as support here in the micro term, and then that was that second hour, some fluctuation, pretty much moved sideways though. Third hour made a run for it to the upside there, and there's that my short-term moving average is not being kind with that third hour price action there, quickly sold off. But on the fourth hour, we pushed a little bit more and then kept pushing here all the way back to the short-term moving average, and looks like the micro-term support held pretty much all day long here. And currently we're on the fifth hour. Yes, we're on the fifth hour, and this is very new candle there because it's only been like 10 minutes since this candle's been developed. So we got one more fifth hour and another sixth hour coming, right? So I'll do my analysis based on how it will be beneficial for the either buyers and sellers, how it should be closing to benefit, potentially tomorrow for either buyers and for sellers. So for buyers, obviously, we see that short-term moving average here, right? So that short-term moving average is coming down. Finally, market bounced here yesterday, and we've been retesting that for entire day today. So we got that resistance here, we got that support here, and that's why we've been just hanging around all day long, grinding here, right? Because we got that little bit of buying pressure from last night or yesterday's price action, but that trend, the short term, we are in a downtrend. So that's that's the battle we're seeing right here. So it will be better for the buyers for tomorrow if we can see on the last hour, we close above my short-term moving average here for the buyers. It will be better for the buyers, and then maybe tomorrow or next day, buyers trying to go for that retesting mid-term moving average just right above it. It will be better for the bears. Make sure do not let the buyers reclaim on this resistance here, right? Make sure the short-term moving average continues to move to the downside so you could see this thing coming back down, maybe making lower lows. So again, better for the buyers if we close above, let's call it 340. If we close above 340, well above 340 will be better, not just right at it. It needs to be well above 340 and reclaim back above my short-term moving average will be better for the buyers. It will be better for the sellers, the bears, if we stay below it. So looking at things in the micro term, we're talking very, very short term here. We got some momentum going, but a lot of sellers are going to look at this as a bear flag here after a steep decline, kind of a slow grind up, low volume for another leg lower. And that's what the bears are going to argue. So let's see if that's what it's going to be, kind of, like, zooming out here and looking at a maybe bigger picture. So we're looking at micro term when I started this video. Now we're looking at short term, right? Short term. So we got short term downtrend still going on here. So if you look at this, actually, we had these rallies that actually failed. So those are all kind of looked at as a bear flag. So you know what? We are potentially be bear flagging, right? Because we got the lower highs and lower lows. That's why the short term, we have to continue to give benefit of the doubt to the sellers in the short term, because the price continues to cultivate lower highs and lower lows. What buyers needs to do, if you want bears kind of sweat a little bit, get up here right on that gap area, fizzle around, because bears going to really sweat at that time, because what's going to happen is if the buyers can gap this up above it, that would be the most speedy way for the buyers can get back up here and start making a move, because this downtrend resistance and the gap area, this vicinity here, 346, 340, it's gonna make things very, very hectic for the buyers. So best bet for the buyers getting up, gapping it up, make this into an island bottom. If we see something like that, there'll be pretty strong bullish signal. But we're getting too ahead of ourselves. We can probably re-examine that sometime this week if we see anything like that. So if the buyers go up there and fill this gap like halfway and then meet with the resistance, that's not gonna be good, because if the gap doesn't get filled all the way, start getting rejected from here, that's gonna be pretty bearish at that time, right? My midterm moving average started to decline here also. Let's zoom out a little more and let's look at a midterm sense here. So we've been covering this last couple weeks here in the midterm. Just a quick recap. We have higher high. We got the low. We're trying to find out where that higher low is going to be. Somewhere in this vicinity. Is it going to be 340? It's going to be 337. It's going to be 333. We don't know yet. What we know is we do have a higher high and higher low in the midterm. So you want to kind of give more, your posture should be more bullish in the midterm, right? Maybe neutral to bullish, but more bullish. In the short term, bearish. Micro term, we got a little bit of momentum here in the last couple of days, but see how it closes today, which I explained earlier on this video, right? So that's kind of what we're dealing with here. So, I'm going to label this market short term bearish. Midterm, still neutral, I'm going to label it, because we do have a higher high here and potentially higher low, but we don't know where the higher low is at. It's gonna be, and we got the midterm moving average now starting to decline a little bit, so not quite, I don't want to quite give it bullish, but I don't quite give it bearish either. So it'll be neutral in the midterm. Let's check out that oscillator here. So oscillator did cross, and now we came back down to this band here. So we're actually oscillating back and forth at the bottom of this band. So when you start seeing, it's similar to here. When you see that happening at the top of this band, what does that mean? It means buyers are gaining momentum here. As you can see here, right? Buyers are gaining momentum, right? You see that oscillators oscillating back and forth at the bottom of his band. It doesn't come all the way back down to the bottom of his band. It just oscillates back and forth at the top of his band. What's going on right now is it's oscillating back and forth at the bottom of his band, and then the trend is down. So what the buyers need to do is get above this. The oscillator needs to get above this level right here, that oscillator resistance. We did see a cross. That means we got a little bit of micro term strength coming in, but again, in the short term, still bearish. Micro term, a little bit more bullish because of the oscillator. I do want to check out Qs though. I actually tweeted this out earlier today. On the Qs, we don't have it on the spider. On the Qs though, we actually got bullish divergence still intact. You can see that that's definitely lower low in the price action, and we got the higher low on my oscillator on the NASDAQ. So I'm not sure if that's gonna play out. Sometimes these signals do fail. You can see right here, we did have that bullish divergence, but we did initially made a move, but we failed. So none of these signals obviously are going to be 100%, right? If anybody has 100% signals, right? Nobody does. So after this signal appear, we have to say that confirmation is if the price can get above this high, because you can see we got the lower highs here still. That's kind of what I mean. As long as we keep cultivating lower highs, it doesn't matter what kind of signal it comes, it's going to, you know what I mean, be bearish if we cannot substantiate the signal that we get. So right now, we have a similar situation here. For this to be confirmed, we need to get at least above 286, 287. 286, 287. If the price can get above 286, 287, and then start cultivating higher lows and higher high, that's important right there. That higher high is very, very important. This higher high right there, that's important high before we can substantiate and say, you know what, that bullish divergence definitely playing out. It's confirmed. NASDAQ is ready to go back to all-time high once we see the price getting above this high right here, which is 285, 6, and 7. If not, we could have bullish divergence and it fails with these lower highs if you're not able to reclaim that pivot right there, that resistance there. Does that make sense? We'll probably have a better idea probably tomorrow and remainder of this week. I'll be coming back for you guys every single night, re-examine the situation. Enjoy your rest of this evening and remainder hours trading. Good luck trading tomorrow and remainder of a couple hours here.